It looks pretty good from here. I mean, the rear is really, really nice. Hey there, my name's Sam Crack, and what you're looking at could quite possibly be the cheapest 911 ever. If you're a follower of my channel, you know that I love a good salvage auction bargain hunt. It's where I picked up my Audi R8, car with a 6-speed manual transmission that I won the bid for only $32,000 in change. All in, repaired and registered, this car will cost me right around $40,000. And how about the 800 horsepower Stage 2 Audi RS7. This car came from salvage auction with a set of HRE wheels that cost over $10,000 and a few other modifications. The winning bid on this car right around $24,000. All in, fixed and registered, right around $30,000. Both of these cars will have cost me less than 50% of retail value. But I gotta be honest, I did have a little bit of assistance finding the perfect R8 and the perfect RS7 for a successful rebuild project. I use this website called autoauctions.io. It's a site that's like Kelley Blue Book, but for cars at the salvage auction. An auto auction's vehicle report includes things like sale price, seller type, previous sales history, and comparable vehicle sales. If you're wondering why this information is important, here's a 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 at a salvage auction. If we scroll down, we can see that the car sold for $23,900 and is being offered for sale by a third party. But we can see a few months ago that this car sold for only $14,500. When we click the original listing, we can see that this car was once severely damaged and now repaired. I tend to like to stick to cars being sold by the insurance company. That way, you see the damage up front. You know what you're getting yourself into. Now, I've always wanted a Porsche 911, but their strong resale value and huge following keep the prices really high, even at salvage auction. But I found this specific one, and the data let me know that it would sell for really cheap. And guess what? The data didn't lie. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the listing for the 911 that I won for only $4,250. But here's how I knew that this car would sell cheap. It was being offered for sale by the insurance company. The insurance company had a reserve on the car, which means that if the car didn't hit a certain bid price, the auction was over and they just relist it. Now, reserves are pretty rare for insurance companies, and reserves tend to push away some prospective bidders. The first and second time this car went to auction, it sold for $5,600, and the insurance company didn't accept it. That $5,600 price dropped around $1,000. The next two times, $4,500 and $4,600. And that's where I stepped in, knowing that at one point the insurance company was going to cut the line and let this car go. Even though it took a couple more tries, finally, on the 7th time, the insurance company finally let the car go to me for only $4,250. It's data like this that has found me the best cars for ridiculous prices. If you're considering bidding on a car at any salvage auction, make sure you get an auto auctions report first. Reports start at only $3.99, but right now, if you use my link in the description box below, you're gonna get your first reports absolutely free. Big thanks to Auto Auctions for supporting the channel and helping me snag the deal of a century. Now, let's get back to it and check out our cheap 911. Ooh, here's our ding in the rear bumper. What is this, made out of plastic? Couldn't really see what this was. Oh yeah, this will pop out. I mean, it's not gonna look perfect, but we can get that looking really, really good. No new body parts there. What's this? Got a little bit, this must have gone low and hit something. Got some really nice damage there. Really what I'm mostly concerned about though is what lurks behind here. You know, but overall so far, for how much we paid, this is a win so far. I got to see the inside, of course, and I'm hoping that those headlights are in the frunk there, but you know they never ever give you those headlights, especially on this car. The headlights, like new third party, are $1,000 a piece. Used are like $400 or $500 a piece. So looks good. When these cars are on the truck, I always like to get a good look because it's going to be a little while before I get it up in the air. And really, you can see, I mean, stuff like this, they probably make replacements really cheap. Plastic that is just low, it gets cracked. The mystery remains whether or not this car has a sunroof on it. Some of these 911s came with them and some of them didn't. In case you guys are wondering, $600 is what the transporter gets. This car came from Kentucky and dropped it off in Florida. Perfect. Let's see what the interior looks like. Ooh, This is first police tape. Let's see this here. Oh, got some parts in here. That's great.
Got some goodies to go with it.
Headlights, man. Those are that's what I was hoping for. We got headlights. Now this car was listed as a run and drive at the auction, so I imagine that it will start right over. It seems that we got a little bit of battery power from just opening up the inside. It's a little bit wet in here. What I want to do really quick is just check the dipstick before we start it up. As long as we got some oil in there, we should be good. This is the most impossible dipstick to remain still, and it can't go in focus, but there's clearly oil in there. So we're good to start it up. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Runs great. Come on, this thing runs beautifully. And so what I'm just gonna do right now, I am going to get this bumper seated where it belongs, kind of. This car is likely gonna need a new bumper. Somebody could repair this. Depends on how budget we wanna go. There's that separation down there. I'd rather find like a cooler front end, you know, maybe off of a turbo car or maybe a turbo replica. I don't like aftermarket body panels, but yeah, we gotta take this thing for a ride like ASAP. I just don't want this bumper flying off, and we could zip tie it down. I'm really excited. This is my first 911 ever. Let's see. Oh, we got to do this. That's a Porsche thing. I forgot all about that. I used to have a Cayman, and that's what you do. So if you look here, the hood lines, oh my God, they're beautiful. They're really nice. Even this bumper line is really good. Obviously the bumper, talked about multiple times, is pretty beat. There's a connector hanging on for dear life down here. Oh, that's a ambient air temperature. I'm gonna tuck that up and under. Come on, you son of a gun. I don't want that hanging. We don't need to rip any Porsche connectors off. That's no fun. Wow, this car needs one major cleaning. And all the tires look really low. We're gonna go and take care of that right now. Whoops. Wow, this interior will clean up really nice. It's got that auction dirt on it. I want to see if they left this somewhere. It'd be really nice to know what changer this is. And come on, we gotta listen to some radio. Let's see, this is reverse. Here's first gear. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, off-roading in a 911. Change of plans. We will not be taking this car very far. It's got a coolant leak. Where's it coming out of? Looks like a coolant pipe down there somewhere. Ah man, I was really excited to take this thing for a ride. All right, the coolant leak, we're gonna definitely figure out where that came from. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. It came from that corner. It was pretty obvious it was gushing, so if we fill up with water, we'll find it. But a lot of you guys are wondering what might be wrong with this car. This is a car that was considered frame damaged, whatever that means. I mean, I've talked about frame damage several times in the past, and usually it's pretty apparent, like on my Focus RS, like on my Fiesta ST, even like the rear end damage on the Audi RS7. This looks to be a little bit different, and I'm hoping it is fairly minimal. When I say hope, the easiest way to find out what's going on, this car likely had a front end issue, is to go ahead and pull the front bumper off, which we should be able to do. The only thing that looks like it's holding it on is this thing right here, which is really on there. Let me see if we can't wiggle this off. All right, that came loose again. All right, the only thing holding it on is that. So let me get the camera down and let me pull this thing apart. There we go. Easy enough. All right, that bumper's trashed. Here is our damage right underneath here. All right, so here's our frame damage. Not too bad. They should call this undercarriage damage, but I guess I can understand why they call it frame damage. Our front tub is a little bit pushed in. And so I think a few hammer hits maybe. It looks like it might be cracked right there. Let's see here. Is it cracked? Yeah, it's cracked a little bit, but again, nothing that you can't smash out a little bit with a hammer. I don't see any major issue with this car. Right here is a better look at the damage from the inside. You can see the floor got pushed up a little bit right here, and then the wall part here was pushed inward a little bit. I think we should start by trying to push the floor down, then we can try and push the wall in, and maybe shape this corner a little bit. So when I said earlier that somebody could repair this bumper, I think I was just looking at like the top half. Obviously where the car ran over something here, you could see it's destroyed. There's a lot of cracks. There's missing chunks out of it. This thing is beyond repairable in my opinion, and I will not be reusing it. We'll be finding a replacement bumper. Now I know I'm about to hear from people in the comment section with 911 years of experience in Porsche repair, but down below, that's all really thin metal. That's why that pushed up like that. Our main structure is right here. Now, if this car was hit hard enough, that could have pushed things up. But seeing how everything lines up here and how that bumper lined up before we pulled it off, I'd imagine, and just by the looks of it, this is all like really, really nice and straight. We can see this front support bar behind the crash bar right here. Also on the sides, there's no kinking, no bending, nothing that looks, you know, abnormal really. So this is great. Our structure on this car seems to be really, really solid. Our final assembly will be the telling point. If everything lines back up kind of like it looked when we got it off the truck, then we should be good to go. Our coolant leak was coming from the front passenger corner here. Not sure if it's the radiator itself or if it's a connector to the radiator. So we're going to need to make it leak again to figure out exactly what we need to repair. Now this is very simple, and the best way to do it, my favorite way to do it, is to rent one of these kits from the auto parts store. It contains a bunch of caps and this pump right here. Our cap number 6 fits on perfectly. You just go and twist it on. You put the pump over this right here and then pump it up. It pressurizes your entire coolant system, and wherever there's a leak, you'll see it gushing out. There's only one issue, and that's the fact that we cannot slip the pump over here. You can see this hinge is right in the way of things. So we're gonna have to do it the way it did it before, and that is fill the system up and then turn it on. Wait till the coolant cycles through everything and gushes out on its own. A really important step here, before you turn on the car, make sure to feed your chickens. They always like a little snack. This is pumpkin seeds. All right, we'll just let it warm up now. I'm assuming this is not normal, but at idle, you could see the revs, they jump in between there around like 8, 950. And you can hear it. It shakes the inside of the car a little bit. Oh, here it really comes now. Here we go. Ooh. Now the fan on this side doesn't sound like it's coming on. There's only one fan kicking on here. I would think you'd want to hear a fan over here. Not to mention, I don't know if there's some plug that goes there. We're gonna have to look at what those parts entail and then go from there. So I was having a hard time figuring this out when the water was coming out of the radiators, but if you look right here, there's a mounting point where the radiator itself mounts into what looks like a bracket down here. What must have happened in the accident is obviously there was some sort of force, and the plastic here, this is a plastic radiator tank, where it mounts to the car just snapped. It did it on this side and that side, so we'll be replacing both of the front radiators, and for good measure, since our one fan doesn't work, we'll just replace both fans. Let's check out the interior condition really quick. Besides some of the auction dirt, this interior looks amazing for a 2001 with 100,000 miles, no seat tears. This passenger seat looks like nobody ever even used it. Looks brand new. The rear seats, well, of course, nobody actually ever uses those except for maybe a dog. There's a few dog hairs back there. These seats are in excellent shape as well. As far as this goes right here, I'm wondering if this was MacGruber's car, because this faceplate is completely missing. Remember how MacGruber walked around with his Blaupunkt wherever he went? Anyway, we're gonna have to just order a new radio. I thought there was like a glove box here. There's no glove box apparently. But yeah, I looked in the front trunk. I looked underneath the seats. While I was looking underneath the seats, I did find this right here, a turn signal, which is great because these used online or third party are like 50 bucks a piece. So we've got one of those. It's not cracked, it's not broken. We'll just need to get one more. But otherwise, new radio, and that's about it in here. One of the interesting things is I remember the 911s and Boxsters of this era having like a CD holder right in between here, which kind of dated the interior, made it look kind of old because, you know, nobody uses CDs anymore. But I mean, this is great. I don't know why this car came like this. It looks much more modern, especially when we put a real radio in there. It will look great. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am for a 911 rebuild project. If you are, be sure to hit that like button. I really wasn't planning on buying a car so soon after the Audi R8. However, when I saw the information on Auto Auction's site, I knew that this was almost a no-brainer. There are 911s in substantially worse condition selling for $7,000 and $8,000. So for $4,250, I think we'll have a couple $1,000s in parts we gotta buy. Of course, a good amount of disassembly and reassembly. While we're inside, we'll go ahead and replace any old worn out items. We'll really freshen up this 911, make it feel like new and hopefully make it look like new. My personal goal is to have this completely finished for well under 10 grand. Something that's really difficult to find in the whole entire world, at least as far as I could see. Now, if you're not already following me on Instagram, you can visit right here or just click the link in the description box below. There, I'll be posting pictures of the 911 build before anything goes live here on YouTube. I really want to thank everyone for taking their time and watching today. I will catch you very soon.